Today I'll be talking on the topic planning in sports training, and we'll discuss its definition, concept, principles and types of training plan. Now we'll discuss the introduction. Without knowing our destination, we cannot plan a journey. Our destination in sports is a competition's objective or goal. It might be to win a league competition, a place in the national championships, a qualifying performance for a team selection, or a lifetime best performance in a particular competition. Our journey is a preparation program plan to help reach the objective or goal. It is quantifiable and has a time scale. For the development of sports in a country, planning is not limited to sports training. It extends to the activities of sports federations and other government and non-government bodies which control sports. Planning, therefore, has two levels. Number A, planning of the process, which is basically the responsibility of the coach or the sports teacher. B, planning of the complete training and competition system, which is the responsibility of the sports federations or other sports bodies. These two are interrelated and interdependent. A proper planning system therefore should ensure high quality of planning at both the levels while providing our effective coordination between them. Now we'll discuss its definitions. According to Hare, in the year 1986, planning is an important method to ensure continuous development of personality and sports performance, and to enable the sportsman to achieve best performance in the stage of high performance. Planning ensures continuity in the development of performance, which spreads over several years. As per Webster's International Dictionary, they define planning as an outcome of making or carrying out plans. In short, we can sum up by saying that planning is a process of setting goals, developing strategies, and outlining the tasks and schedules to accomplish the goals. Next, we'll discuss on the concept of training plan. Training is a long-term process and involves the use of various methods and means. Planning is necessary to make the best use of what is available so as to achieve the immediate and long-term aims. To make the planning successful, training plans of short and long duration are indispensable. Hence, in the training process, we have training session plans, that is lesson plan, the weekly plans, the Meso-cycle plans, macro-cycle plans. Every part, small or big, of the training process is planned beforehand. A training plan is a carefully determined action program for a certain definite time period for achieving a goal. A plan normally consists of goals and sub-goals. Tasks to be tackled, means and methods of tackling the tasks, the sequence of tackling the tasks, the trace of weightage to be given to various tasks. All these are given within a certain time frame. A a lot of effort is required to determine the various content of training plan. A training plan, when formed and implemented, is continuously controlled and modified according to the effects and changes in the personality and performance caused by training and other factors. Without planning, the process of development cannot be controlled and regulated. Planning documents along with the training and performance documents make training assessment possible. Planning, therefore, is an aspect of control and regulation of sports training. Now we'll discuss the principles of planning. The principles of planning can be discussed in the following points. Number 1, planning should be based on the prognosed sports performance. Planning is basically concerned with the achievement of performance in the future. It is therefore essential to plan on the basis of the structure of prognosed performance. All the training plans, whether short or long-term, in all stages of training, have to be based directly or indirectly on the structure of the prognosed performance. The second point, planning must aim at education and performance development. Training is an educational process as it aims at education and performance development. Education or development of the personality of the sportsman is essential because without the required beliefs, attitudes, mental capabilities, personality traits, proper habits, etc., a sportsman cannot effectively train over long periods, nor he can successfully participate in sports competitions. It is therefore obligatory to plan for the development of personality simultaneously. Third, planning must be based on the latest scientific knowledge and experience. Sports science is engaged in exploring the means and methods for better, faster, and more effective development of performance and performance factors. In the last few decades, science has made rapid progress and has yielded valuable information and knowledge regarding different aspects and elements of training. This knowledge is continuously being increased and further refined. It is therefore essential that the contents of a training plan are based on latest scientific knowledge. The fourth, planning must ensure harmony among various training plans. In sports training, various types of plans are needed. Example, short-term and long-term plans, individual and group plans. The aims and contents of these plans must be in harmony with each other so that performance and personality development can take place in the best possible manner. Short-term training plans should serve as steps for the long-term plans. Individual and group plans must supplement each other to ensure proper development of an individual and a group. The training plans formed should be in accordance with the general plans formed by the federation or association or the government body. Harmony in planning aims at streamlining of the total system of planning in a country. The fifth point, planning is a continuous process. Planning is not static, it is a dynamic process. A plan, when formed and implemented, is continuously controlled, stretched, and modified according to the effects and changes in the personality and performance caused by training and other factors. Planning, therefore, is an aspect of control and regulation of sports training. The sixth point, planning must be based on all important factors. Planning must be comprehensive in nature. During planning, all important factors which can have a direct or indirect impact on the process of training should be carefully considered, and if needed, possible means and measures should be included in the plan. Number 7, planning must be pragmatic and concrete. Concrete planning means that as far as possible, planning must be quantitative. The goals The sub-goals, load factors, etc. should be expressed quantitatively in figures, in numbers, in ratios, percentage, etc. This makes the planning concrete and precise. Moreover, it enables to work out each and every detail of all important tasks and aspects of planning. Later on, it is of high value for training and performance analysis. Now we'll discuss the types of training plans. The different types of training plans can be classified according to two criteria: the duration, the number of persons for which the plan is made. According to the duration, we have several short-term and long-term plans which can be discussed. Number 1, training conception. Training conception is a plan for several years. It is not a plan in a strict sense. It is essentially a concept for the planning and carrying out of training process for a long period. It consists of principles, fundamentals, rules, etc. for the implementation of the training. Training conceptions are normally prepared by the sports federations for different levels and classes of sportsmen. It is prepared on the basis of analysis of effects of training on the development of personality and performance in consideration of international trends in the development of sports performance and training methodology. It is also based on the trends of development of training and competition systems for the various age groups, performance levels. It mainly contains information about performance development for a certain period and the necessary performance prerequisites. It also contains the basic training methodological guidelines for achieving the desired performance. The second is a yearly plan. These plans are made for effective formulation and implementation of training for a period of 1 year. The yearly plan is prepared on the basis of the training conception. A yearly plan is a training document in which the training to be done in a year is clearly laid down in much detail and precision. It generally contains the following things. First point, the time period and sportsman for which is made. The second, analysis of the present status of the sportsman. Third, goal and sub-goals of performance factors to be achieved till the end as well as at certain points during the total plan period. Fourth point is that information about training contains proportions, factors among different training elements, means, load dynamics, and so on. The fifth point, sequence of the development of performance factors. Number 6 point, arrangement of meso-cycles. 7 point, dates of competitions, tests, etc. 8, other relevant information. The third type of training plan is Meso-cycle plan. These plans are perhaps the most important training plans. These plans are made for carrying out training for 3 to 6 weeks, as the duration is enough to check the adaptations caused by training. Therefore, Meso-cycle plans are important tools for control and regulation of sports training. Each Meso-cycle has set aims and objectives. These aims and objectives are achieved by proper formulation and arrangement of microcycles. A Meso-cycle plan is much concrete and detailed than a yearly plan. The load indices and other elements of training are laid down in precise quantities. Meso-cycle plan is also called operative plan. The fourth type is micro-cycle plan. Micro-cycle plan is a short-term plan and forms the basis of Meso-cycle plans. The duration of a microcycle plan is too short to achieve the desired adaptation. But by systematically loading the sportsman in a number of microcycles, this effect is achieved in the meso-cycle. The aims and contents of a microcycles are, therefore, part and parcel of the aims and contents of the meso-cycle in which it falls. For effective formulation of a microcycle plan, the following rules should be normally observed. Number 1, the degree of load should vary within the microcycle. Number 2, the aims and contents of training should vary within the microcycle, but it must ensure optimum load for the development or achievement of one or two factors. Third, the aims, contents, and loads in a microcycle must correspond to the aims and contents of meso-cycle in which it falls. Fourth, in microcycle plans having very high loads, there should be 1 or 2 training sessions for active recovery. 5. In competition period, the microcycle plans are generally formulated in such a manner that there is no carryover of fatigue from one microcycle to the next microcycle. 6. The microcycle immediately before an important competition should be formulated in such a manner that the sportsman is able to participate in the competition in a state of supercompensation. The 5th type of training plan is training session plan. Training session is the basic unit of training process. It is the smallest unit of the training process in which the actual education and preparation of sportsmen takes place. Though a training session always forms a part of the microcycle, yet it is complete in itself. The actual process of training is realized in a training session. Therefore, it must plan carefully and carried out. Training plans are also divided into individual and group plans on the basis of the number of persons for which a plan is based. These plans are of different durations. Individual plans are more common in individual sports. These plans are necessary to ensure optimum development of sportsmen, as in individual plans, the individual factors form the basis of planning. The group plans, however, cater to a group of sportsmen and as such do not ensure optimum development of each individual. The group plans are more commonly used in team games. Now coming to conclusion, planning is a process of making and modifying a plan. In sports, planning is not limited to sports training. It extends to the activities of sports federations, associations, and other government and non-government bodies which control sports. Planning is necessary to make of what is available so as to achieve the immediate and long-term aims. To make the training successful, training plans of short and long duration are indispensable. Hence, in the training process, we have training plans, that is lesson plan, the weekly plan, meso-cycle plans, macro-cycle plans. Every part, small or big, of the training process is planned beforehand. Planning is a process of construction and modification of plans. It is a continuous process which ends only with the end of training. A plan is a systematically throughout fixture, line of action for a definite time period in which all the factors important for achieving the planned goal have been laid down with definite weightage and sequence. It is the essence of time management. Effective time managers plan every day and every practice session, concentrate on achievable goals, and are unperturbed by the unexpected. Planning, therefore, is a dynamic and continuous process.